The encrypted transmission reached my terminal at exactly 2:14 in the morning. Only 3 people on Earth possessed the security clearance to send it. When the screen flickered to life, General Harrison didn't salute. He didn't greet me. He didn't even ask if the connection was sour. He simply stared into the camera. For a moment, I wondered if the transmission had frozen. Then he finally spoke, "Dr. Carter." His voice was quieter than I had ever heard it. "We solved Project 444 6 hours ago." He paused. The silence between us felt heavier than the words themselves. And now, his eyes drifted somewhere beyond the camera. "We wish we hadn't." The transmission ended without another word. No explanation, no files, no orders. Just a black screen reflecting my own confused face. For nearly 20 years, I had worked inside classified research facilities. I had seen experimental fusion reactors ignite. I had watched quantum computers perform calculations that should have taken centuries. I had witnessed artificial intelligence rewrite its own programming in real time. None of those moments frightened me, but that transmission did. Because General Harrison wasn't a man who panicked. He had commanded international defense operations on 4 continents. He had negotiated ceasefires while missiles were still in the air. If he sounded afraid, then fear had finally found something worthy of itself. 5 minutes later, my phone vibrated. One sentence appeared on the encrypted display: "Report to facility for immediately." No location, no signature, just those 4 words. That was enough. Everyone who had ever worked on classified government science projects knew what facility for meant. Officially, it didn't exist. The helicopter landed just before sunrise. The facility was hidden beneath a mountain range so remote that even military satellites rarely passed overhead. 3 security checkpoints, 2 biometric scans, 1 retinal verification. Only then did the final blast door begin to move. As it opened, cold recycled air rolled across the concrete floor. Inside, hundreds of scientists walked silently through brightly lit corridors. Nobody spoke. Nobody looked at one another. It felt less like a laboratory, and more like a hospital waiting for terrible news. An armed escort led me toward the central command room. Every screen displayed the same message. Project 444 status. Solved. No celebration. No applause, no excitement, only silence. That was the first thing that felt wrong. Scientists celebrate discoveries. These scientists looked as though they had attended a funeral. The command room doors slid open. General Harrison stood alone beside a circular table covered with holographic projections. He looked older than he had only a few hours earlier. Without turning toward me, he asked, "Dr. Carter, do you remember why Project 444 was created?" I remembered the official reason, and the unofficial one. I hesitated. There wasn't supposed to be an unofficial one. For the first time since the transmission began, he smiled. It wasn't a smile of relief. It was the smile of a man realizing the truth had finally caught up with him. "Exactly," he whispered. "There wasn't supposed to be." He touched the table. The hologram changed. Not blueprints, not equations, not satellite images. A single video file appeared. Its timestamp was dated 34 years in the future. Every instinct in my body told me it was impossible. A forged timestamp, an experiment, a software error, anything except what it appeared to be. General Harrison looked directly into my eyes. "This recording was recovered yesterday." He swallowed. "It hasn't been created yet." The room fell completely silent. Then he pressed play. The first frame appeared on the screen, and I saw myself, older, covered in blood, looking directly into the camera. My future self leaned closer and spoke just 6 words. "Do not solve Project 444. The video ended. No one in the room moved, no one even breathed, because every biometric test, every quantum authentication, every atomic timestamp had confirmed exactly the same impossible conclusion. The recording was genuine, and according to every law of physics we understood, it could not exist, yet somehow it did. The room remained silent long after the recording ended. No one spoke. No one dared to question what they had just witnessed. My own face, older, exhausted, covered in blood. begging us not to solve Project 444. General Harrison finally broke the silence. "We've authenticated the recording 63 times. He looked around the room. It passed every test. No manipulation. No artificial intelligence. No digital fabrication. Every quantum signature matched. The recording hadn't been altered. It simply didn't belong in our time." I forced myself to breathe. "What exactly is Project 444? The general looked toward the scientist standing behind the observation glass. Then he answered. "For 34 years, governments around the world secretly funded one question." He paused. "Can information travel backward through time?" The holographic display changed. Equations filled the room. Images of particle accelerators, quantum processors, gravitational simulations. "We never wanted to send people into the future." He shook his head. "We only wanted knowledge. Knowledge of diseases before they spread. Earthquakes before they happened. Asteroid impacts before they reached Earth. Wars before the first shot was fired. If information could travel backward, history itself could be protected." It sounded impossible. It also sounded beautiful. Humanity could prevent every disaster before it happened, until one scientist quietly spoke. There was one problem. Every eye turned toward her. We discovered the future was already watching us. The room became still. She placed another recording onto the screen. This one lasted only for seconds. It showed the laboratory exactly as it looked now. Every scientist stood in the same place. Every light, every computer, every heartbeat, even my own breathing matched perfectly. The timestamp was 41 years in the future. The recording ended. I stared at it in disbelief. "Someone is recording us?" Those words settled over the room like ice. General Harrison walked toward the main console. The moment Project 444 succeeded, we created a permanent connection. Past and future became linked. Every observation works both ways. We can see them. They can see us. I felt the weight of the realization. We're not studying the future. The future has been studying us all along. No one answered, because everyone knew it was true. Suddenly every monitor in the facility activated, not by command, not by human hands. Every screen displayed the same message, "Welcome back." Then another line appeared. "You finally solved IT." Emergency alarms exploded throughout the complex. Scientists rushed to their stations. Power systems fluctuated. Quantum processors began operating without instructions. No one had touched them. The system had activated itself. Then, the largest monitor in the room came alive. It wasn't displaying our laboratory anymore. It displayed another laboratory, identical. Same room, same equipment, same people, except everything was older. Walls cracked with age, lights flickering, faces lined with decades of exhaustion. At the center stood an old man. It took me several seconds to recognize him. He was me, 34 years older. He looked directly into my eyes. I remember this day. His voice trembled. I remember believing we were about to save humanity. He closed his eyes. We were wrong. Behind him, Earth appeared through a shattered observation window. Not destroyed, not burning, silent, cities without lights, roads without movement, an entire civilization simply gone. We didn't create a time communication system. He looked directly into the camera. We created a loop. Every warning you receive from us creates the future we're trying to stop. Every attempt to change history had already become history. Every warning, every message, every discovery completed the same endless circle. Project 444 had never predicted the future. It had trapped humanity inside it. The old version of myself stepped closer. There were tears in his eyes. If you truly want to save the future, you must do the one thing we never had the courage to do. He reached towards something outside the camera. Then the transmission ended. General Harrison understood immediately, without saying a word. He removed the authorization key from the quantum core. One by one, the scientists followed. The processors shut down. The equations disappeared. The connection collapsed. Every monitor went black. The silence that followed felt different. Not empty, free. Months later, every record of Project 444 was erased. Every server destroyed. Every prototype dismantled. Officially, Project 444 never existed. People often ask whether humanity's greatest scientific discovery is still waiting to be made. I don't answer, because I already know. Some questions aren't dangerous because they're impossible. They're dangerous because they're possible. And somewhere, in a future that may never exist, an older version of me is still hoping. We never solved Project 444.